Okay, guys, we are live on a bank holiday Monday here in Ireland. I've got the legend. The legend's back. He's back with me. He loves that, doesn't he? Mick MORAN from the Kopite podcast. He's back. He couldn't stay away. Mick, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, good. It looks like I've been in the boxing ring with Paul Smithy. I've got a little bit of a shiner on my eye. It's not a shiner. I think it's a sty, but it looks like I've been fucking getting battered by someone. But I haven't.
Didn't even notice. Didn't even notice.
Just thought I'd point out in case someone's in the comments going, "Oh, you've been getting battered by your bird or whatever." I don't know. Just cut it off nice and early.
I think the makeup department did a good job on that one. I think you're all right, actually.
Yeah, coming in 10 minutes early helped a little bit to get that makeup sorted.
It's always in the green room. It's always good opening champagne in the green room. What was I going to say? This pod is going to be nice, light-hearted, as is always. We're going to do a little bit on the Naby Keita Enigma. We're going to have a little chat about Naby, but we'll mix it up at the end and stuff. Great to have the guys in. Who have you got? Cedric Lopez, Helen Raybold as usual, Rod Meta from Down Under. How are you, Rod? What time is it down there? You wouldn't know what time it Rod's watching. Probably eating his breakfast watching us. Oh my God, absolutely. Right, I'll give you a little rundown, a little profile on Naby. Naby Keita, his full name. I call him Nabylad. I don't know what you call him. Born the 10th of February 95. He's 5'8". He's small. He's like a can. He's like a can of Red Bull, to be fair. I mean, this guy is full of energy. He's Ghanaian international, 40 caps, 8 goals for Guinea, a dynamic box-to-box midfielder. That's what we thought we were buying when we bought him for, what was it, 53 million at the time from RB Leipzig. Well, just look at this. He signed for RB Salzburg. So this is where we're getting the Red Bull. This is where I call him a Red Bull boy. In 2014, he 2 seasons at Salzburg, won the league twice and the cup twice, did the double twice, 1-2, uni flew, bang, straight in. Then he signed for the other Red Bull team, which are the sort of the parents of Salzburg, RB Leipzig. What? I mean, he was in the Bundesliga team of the season. I think, 2016 Bundesliga team of the season. I mean, this guy, when I seen him play for Leipzig, and I knew Liverpool had signed him, but didn't bring him to Liverpool till the following year. They signed him like in 17, but didn't bring him till July 18, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him going, this guy is just going to be what we need. He's the missing piece. He's the jigsaw. And we're going to talk about what happened next, but I'm just looking at some of the stuff here. Ghanaian Footballer of the Year 2015, obviously when he was playing for Salzburg at the time. Bundesliga Team of the Season 2016-2017. Signed for Liverpool the 1st of July 2018 for, I think, nearly 52.75, nearly 53 million with add-ons and all this. But when we signed him, as I just said, this guy was going to be it. The injuries have hit the poor fella. What has he got? 53 games in 3 seasons. 53 games, 4 goals. I mean, help me out here, Mick. What's going on? Obviously injuries. So, Naby, over to you.
Yeah, it is a shame, like you said. 53 games. That's just like
3 seasons.
For a player that you rely on a lot. You should be seeing that in 1 season, really, like 50 games. If they're a really dependable member of the squad and they play all the time because
like Genie, like Genie,
for example, perfect example. But yeah, we keep saying it's a make or break with Naby Keita, but I think this is the season. Like if it's not now, because he keeps fucking turning up like Zidane in pre-season, and you're like taking people on and making stuff happening, and you're like, oh God, just stay fit, please. And yeah, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen this year. Otherwise, I think him and Ox are quite similar in that regard because they're both really talented footballers, but they just can't stay fit for long enough. So I'm hoping that both of them this year can kind of kick on and just kind of leave the past where it belongs in the past and just crack on and do well for Liverpool because they're both good enough. It's just the tale of their careers that they're just getting injured all the time, which it is a bit sad, like, to be fair.
No, I think you're right. This season now, he's 3 seasons in for Liverpool. As Michael Jackson said, this is it. This is it. This is the big one for him. And I just think there's a place for him, Mick, as well, the way the midfield is working out. I mean, obviously, Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago are not getting any younger. They're a preferred 3, but are they going to play every game? Sure, they've injury issues as well. I mean, we don't even know what's happening with Henderson. I'm sure he'll sign, extension and stuff like that. But they won't all be available to start the first game against Norwich away, of course, because, I mean, the Brazilian boys only came back yesterday, I think. Fabinho, Allison and Bobby. So we have a place for him in that midfield. You know what I mean? And I think this is the season, and probably Klopp's saying the same thing, but the problem is, do you risk going into a new season thinking, putting all your eggs in one basket on Naby Keita's shoulders, knowing his injury profile? No, you don't. You have to bring in a midfielder. And that's why Liverpool are caught between a rock and a hard place, I think.
Yeah, I think that's why everyone's kind of clambering for another player after Gini's left, because, I mean, Curtis Jones has obviously played quite a lot of games last year, and I imagine he will again, but I think he only played that many because we were quite depleted on the numbers last year. Obviously, midfielders going into centre half, so Curtis Jones got more of a chance in midfield. I think he played like 30 odd games last year, which was like double the previous year for Curtis Jones. So I bet he was made up with that. But I mean, he'll want to kick on. Obviously, Harvey Elliott's come back into the mix and is playing a midfield role. So we all maybe thought he'd go back out on loan again, but it looks like he is going to be integrated in the squad, which I'm happy about because it gives us more creativity in there. Definitely. It's just I guess it's a risk. It's a risk, and it looks like a risk they're willing to take, because I think Klopp likes to get his business done early. So the fact that we're only 12 days away from Norwich, unless Shaq, I mean, I don't know if maybe it's a case of if we sell a Shaq or an Origi or a Minamino or something like that, then once they go and like this homegrown quota stuff, I think we've maxed out on the foreign players. So I think once one of those leave, we can get someone else in. So it might be a case. It might be a case of that, really. Once we get rid of Shaq, maybe hopefully this week sometime, if it's going to happen, earlier the better. If he's going to go, then just fucking get out of here. I mean, I love Shaq, but
I love Shaq as well. But it looks like he's going,
doesn't he?
It looks like. I wrote this letter to FSG today. If you can see it up on the Twitter there. Can you please sign some new players soon, as our fan base are going mental, asking for a friend. But yeah, I think we need, as I said, we can't risk Nabylad. We just can't. I mean, you've Curtis Jones. He's another enigma, to be fair. He's only young. He's got time on his side. I mean, Naby's, 26? It's just, look, I'd love Naby. We all would love Naby to play and start. He probably will start against Norwich if he's fit. You know what I mean? Naby would get injured playing FIFA. I'm sure Klopp tells him to stop playing with consoles at home. He's afraid he'd get injured. Yeah. That's the type of guy he is. You know what I mean?
Get off shower,
Pac-Man, whatever it is. I mean, that's the problem with Naby. And we've a lot, as you know, last season, Mick, we've had a lot of players last season like that, especially centre halves. Don't mention the war. But back to Naby, I just look. Let's say Naby's fit for most of the season. I'm not going to say all the season. Let's say 3/4 of the season, which is probably the best you can dream for. Where does Naby then fit into your tree? I mean, if he's going to go 4-3-3, which he probably will. I mean, do you play Naby in there as like a holding? I mean, he can play a holding role as well, but we know he's dynamic. He likes moving around. He doesn't like staying in one place. I mean, Fabinho does a good job for us there. And if it Naby, Fabinho, and maybe Thiago or Henderson when he's fit, I mean, what do you do? I don't know.
I think as long as, like, touch with Fabinho stays fit all season, that CDM role is his all day long, because he's that good at it. And then Hendo seems to prefer like a right side of a 3, doesn't he? So I think the right side of a 3 is Hendo's, and I think the left. I mean, like I said, at the moment it's Thiago's, but I think Keita, he does like to pop, like when you watch him in friendlies, he is always on the left of that 3, because he likes to link up with Robbo, and Kanate's been playing on the left. He's been linking up with him, or Tsimikas, whoever's been playing left back, he's been linking up nicely with him, and then Mane's on that side as well, one of his good mates. So he does like going to that side because he knows he'll get a lot of the ball. So that left side of the 3 is perfect for him, I think, because even in the pre-season games, he's looked really good. He's looked lively. He's closing people down. He's winning the ball back. He's setting off attacks. He's taking people on. He's doing little flicks and tricks. Yeah. All the stuff you want to see from a dynamic midfielder. But it's like, can you rely, like you said, can you rely on him to stay fit? Because like once bitten, twice shy, as that old saying goes. So we can't, like you said, put our eggs in the Naby basket, because we can't be sure it's going to be sustainable.
There's holes in that Naby basket. That's the problem, isn't there?
Plenty of them.
You put it in, the falls at the bottom. But that's the problem. Yeah, that's exactly it with Naby. I mean, we have bonuses, we little Brucey bonuses you can throw in there. I mean, if the likes of young Harvey Elliott, who's come on, he's even put on a bit of weight. He's low centre of gravity. I mean, that guy's got the X factor now. I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised Simon Cowell hasn't taken him away. He's that level. Do you like that?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
no, I love Harvey Elliott. I absolutely think he's great. I mean, it looks like I was surprised that like he's been playing that as many games as he has, because I think people maybe thought he'd be like playing as like a wide right and maybe like the Salah role, but he hasn't got maybe the pace of a Mo Salah or a Sadio Mane, a winger that you need. But I think he could play in it as a 10. He can play as the right of a 3. I think he could probably play the left of a 3. He's done that for Blackburn. So it's got a lot of positions, strings through his bow, I think, Harvey Elliott. I think that's probably why Klopp likes him as well, because he can play in a various amount of roles, and he's got that fire in the belly. He's a boyhood red, so he's got that in his blood. So he wants to prove his worth. And I mean, if you had a comparison, who do you want to bring on with 30 minutes to go, Harvey Elliott or Divock Origi? You're going to pick Harvey Elliott, aren't you, to come on and make something happen? So
yeah. Just, of course, yeah. But I mean, Origi's another enigma. I mean, Liverpool are full of enigmas. We really are. We're a puzzle. I mean, I seen a thing, the net spend thing the other night. I don't know whether you've seen it on Twitter. Liverpool are way down. I mean, we're stuck between, I think it was Spurs and Brighton or something. Somewhere 8th in the table of net spend. Like, how the hell? Like, you know, I'm not giving out about FSG in a roundabout ways, but how do they expect to win a Premier League, a Champions League, a Club World Cup, and the Champions League final that we lost, but we're still in it? You know, a Europa League final, people forget that against Sevilla. You know, a League Cup final against City, we lost on penalties. But all these finals we've been in, with, you know, the net spend that's there. I mean, that in itself is genius. I know Michael Edwards has something to do with it, but that's Miracle Whip. Heavy on the Miracle Whip, Harry. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable, isn't it?
But then I think that, I mean, that like you said, that is the FSG way of operating. Like, clear the decks and then see who you can buy. But I think Klopp also does like that. I think he likes to. He's quite specific, isn't he, with his targeting of players. Like, I think with looking at Man City, like looks like they're going to sign Kane and Grealish for 200 million. That is just a case of like going to your local like pond or whatever, getting a big net and just throwing it in and getting two big bastards out and going, yeah, these two they're the biggest. And it's like, yeah, they're two of the best players in the league. But I don't think that would work for Klopp. I mean, if John Henry like turned up and was like, do you want Harry Kane? He'd probably say, yeah, go ahead then, I'll have him. But I don't think he would actively target someone like that, because I think he wants a player who can play in, like we said, Harvey Elliott can play in various amount of positions. He wants players who are young enough. There's quite a lot of detail, isn't he, in terms of the scouting on Liverpool's behalf. So, I mean, it is a bit disappointing when you're seeing these players getting signed, like Man United have signed Varane and Sancho. I would have loved a Sancho. Sancho would have been great, but yeah, I mean, the only thing is that it's getting like 12 days on now till Norwich, and I am surprised that we haven't signed someone, because I thought obviously there's a load of targets in whatever this magical shortlist where apparently Jared Bowen's on it. There's obviously a load of targets that Liverpool want, and maybe they've just decided that this summer isn't the right summer for some of these targets that they're going to be attainable at the right price this summer. I honestly don't know. It is. I mean, even like Neil Jones for goal, and I think even James Pearce have been quite vocal, even like in terms of like giving their opinions on that. They're surprised, and they'd be surprised if we don't sign 2 more players. And we can't believe Liverpool are operating like this. And that's in itself a surprise that these journalists are like making more opinion type pieces rather than just like delivering the news like they usually do. So I think, yeah. But
as I say, Mick, I don't know why they're so surprised. I mean, this is the FSG policy since they came in. How could you be surprised? You know, I mean, last year we did the same thing. Thiago Jota came in, jumped in the window, was just about to close. I have a feeling they'll bring in 1 or 2. We need 1 or 2, especially midfield and attack. And I think they'll bring them in, but it'll be right near the end, probably the last week in August. I say that Liverpool don't just jump. The deals are already being trashed out months in advance, probably even a year in advance, and they're just waiting for the right time. It's rare they just jump the gun. They just don't do it. You know what I mean? It's very rare. Yeah. It's very rare. Well, I mean, you look at City. Look at City. They've been shopping in Harrods. It's like me being picked up in a 5-star hotel, top of the range Hugo Boss suit, being brought in a limo to Harrods with a blank checkbook, or being picked up, you know, down the road in a council estate and brought to Lidl to buy your dinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's different level here. It's 5-star, 3-star, 4-star. Liverpool have been shopping in Lidl and Aldi, let's put it that way, for the last 3 or 4 years. And how the hell we're even in the conversation against City, who've been shopping in Harrods, who own Harrods, basically. Well, you know what I mean? It's different. It shouldn't even be a conversation, but it is a conversation. And I think that has a lot to do with Klopp and the staff, the running of the club. I like a club being well run. Liverpool are well run. Let's be real. They're well run. A lot of clubs are in trouble. United are in big trouble. They spend money, but they're actually the stuff they have behind them. Now, United have a huge fan base worldwide, which helps. You know, they probably could get out of trouble different ways. They keep taking dividends at the end of the season, the Glazers. But you know, I don't mind the way Liverpool. I just would like a little bit more spending. I can't say I wouldn't from FSG, and we might see it. There's another 4 weeks left. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at City, like the amount of, like, even fullbacks alone, the amount of money they've spent, it's just like, but they can afford to do that. They can go, right, should we throw 40 million at this fella? If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't matter. We can then sell him on for maybe 10 mil less, or try and make a profit or whatever, and we can get the next fella in. And it's just like a revolving factory door of players that, but they can do it because they've got the money to, and we haven't got that luxury to just go, right. I don't know, like Renato Sanchez or Basuma from, like, or whoever, like whatever midfielder we've been linked with, we can't just get them in and after a year go, right, this fella doesn't fit, get him out. It's a case of, it's so targeted. They need to work, and that's why, like, under Klopp, there's not been that many, like, failures, right? Like, very few, really. Like, obviously we're talking about Naby Keita. He's a bit down the middle at the moment in terms of is he a failure or not, because he's a good player, but he hasn't really shown it. But there's not that many ones that you look at under Klopp and under Michael Edwards where you go, right, that one was a really bad signing, because they're, like I said, really targeted, and they can't afford to be wrong, but all that scouting does go in to ensure that they're not wrong. So I understand what you mean, like saying maybe they'll do it last week, but I am surprised that they haven't done it earlier. Like, to get, I mean, maybe it is a case of, like I said, like getting rid of a Shaq, or they're just waiting. Got the finger on the trigger, ready for once a Shaq or an Origi leaves, and then you can get the fella in, whoever it's going to be. So hopefully, I mean, that's why I want it to be sooner, though, because 12 days till Norwich, that's going to fly by. So
it's like 12 days to Christmas. It's 12 days to Christmas, baby. Exactly. The famous song. Let's sing the song. It's Christmas time. But the other thing is as well, for Liverpool, I think I lost a train of thought there. Choo choo. Where did we go? I forgot what I was going to say. Something here about, I'm glad to pay a Tuesday for a hamburger today. It's a bit like Liverpool asking for a cheeseburger without the cheese. You know what I mean? I've done that at McDonald's loads of them. Can I have a cheeseburger without the cheese? Thanks. Just a hamburger. But you know what I mean? Then you be looking at you like, what the hell is he wanting? But I'm looking forward to the season, Mick. I mean, even if it was only Ibrahim Kanat that came in, which right now is all that's come in. I mean, he's a really top centre half. I've seen him. We've seen him train. I've seen him playing for Leipzig. You must be happy with him. He's a big unit, isn't he? He makes Virgil van Dijk look small. Yeah. I mean, this guy could become a Virgil or even a Gomez going forward for the next 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. What is he? 22, isn't he? So he looks. Even in the friendlies, I mean, it's very, very short window we've seen him, but he looks very good. Even if, like, the start of the season's him and Matip starting, then even if that's our second choice, like probably first choice, probably for me, it would be Van Dijk and Gomez. So those as a second choice is just, that's ridiculous strength and depth for us. So yeah, made up with them. That's like a proper investment, like I said, for could be 10 years, whatever, 8 years, or whatever. And under Klopp, and like you said, Klopp squeezes every last bit of juice out of players in terms of potential. So he can do the same with him, and then working under Van Dijk, who's still the best player, best defender in world football. No better player to learn under. So yeah, really exciting to see how good he's going to be, because he's got all the qualities there. He's got the pace, he's got the temperament, he's got the good on the ball and good in the air, and he's got all those, like, tick boxes that Liverpool want as a centre half. that you just can't see how it's going to go wrong, this one.
Well, it's important to start well in your career. Not make mistakes or cause goals, because it can hit your confidence back. Football's about confidence, isn't it? In any position, especially goalkeeper. If you let a dodgy goal or something, so it can knock you. But I think he looks a confident lad. He has everything there. He's going forward. I think he's going to be the one for the next 10 years, hopefully. But another thing, I just see Rod there. Lovely chat. Lots of grown ups here. I'm not giving the age away, but I'm over 18 anyway. But I'd say Mick's. I'd say Mick's slightly over 18 as well. You Mick?
Just
slightly, just a bit.
Yeah.
But, 19. Do you know what? What's another thing before we go? We're only going to stay on for about another 10, 15. But another thing I think is important, and I know fans don't like hearing it, and this is about the running of the club and the proper way of running the club, and you know all about it, Mick. I'm sure you've probably covered it. Liverpool have to tie down their elite players. Now, it's a work in progress. We've tied Trent down. He's got an extension till 2026. He was there till, I think, 24, so he's got an extension. He's on elite level wages now. He's doubled his wages, or treble. He's on nearly 180s. He's on Salah wages. So you've the likes of Salah, you've Mane, you've Alisson. I know Alisson's close to signing. You've Van Dijk, you've Fabinho, Bobby. You've all these players coming right to the end. I think it's 2023. It's weird how they're all on the end of it, which is a bit of a conundrum. That's a conundrum for FFG, because you want to get the most of them sorted out this, summer, because you can't let that go next year. There'll be only a year left. They can just sit in the year and we'll do a genie again. So I think that costs a lot of money. Now, I know they don't like hearing this, the fans. Oh, just because you're tying down your elite players and giving them long contracts, which is costing millions, that means you're not bringing anybody in. But I'm just saying that has to be done. That's going to cost big money.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you said, if Trent's like doubled his wages, then you've got to fuck that over the years he's going to be here. I imagine I think it's a contract till 2025. So I imagine in another 2 years he'll probably get another boost anyway. Because then he'll be getting into like the proper elite levels of where he's going to be. Like as a footballer, he's going to be getting to the level where he's like, right now I'm at the top of my game. Whereas even now he probably is. So what's he going to be in 2 years' time, and what kind of wages is he going to want then? I mean, he's not going to be kicking Klopp's door down, going, I want 500k a week or whatever, but he's going to be demanding those prices. Yeah, subconsciously, because he is that good, and it is as good as signing a player in a way. I mean, I know it's cliche as whatever, but getting these players tied down to contracts is ideal. I mean, I think there was a lot of talk about Salah and Mane and Bobby, because they're getting up to the wrong side of 30 now, so. They're probably looking at that, and the same with Hendo. All this storming a teacup with Hendo about his contract as well, which I imagine will get sorted out. But we need to get these players tied down, because we need to, once we get these next players coming through, like Jota's brand new player who hasn't experienced the crowd and whatever else. There's players like Kanate who've just signed.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
We need to get these players tied down to a bit longer, and then once we start bringing more and more players in, to have that proper hard working mentality and ethos in and around the squad, that's gonna benefit us for as long as we want, really. So definitely, it's definitely key.
That's another reason as well. We're talking about big name players, like superstars level now. Like the likes of Mbappe, the likes of Haaland, these big level players with big Instagram following. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Klopp doesn't like that type of player. Remember, that could be very disruptive. Not only does it cost a lot of money, but bringing a player like that, say £100 million player, and bringing him in, not only do you have a problem with wages that guy's coming in on, and then everybody else is going, hold on for a second, I want the wages. You have that as well, but you also have the disruption. Klopp likes a nice tight unit, probably too tight for our liking, as in a small squad that he trusts everybody, he knows everybody, even knows how many sugar they want in their tea. This type of fella, you know what I mean? Like, he knows them intimately, basically, is what I'm saying. So he doesn't rock the boat. People should understand that. Talking about Mbappe, and I can never see Mbappe. I just can't see it for that reason. Yeah. Haaland may be a bit different. He's a bit more old school, Haaland. I'd love to see Haaland. I think he'd score a lot of goals in Liverpool. But I think he's going to go to Chelsea. I think Mbappe's going to go to Madrid, probably next year. But that's another reason why I can't see a big name even in the next 3-4 weeks. Can you? I can't see it.
No, I can't. I mean, I would love.
I'd love to see it.
I'd love either of those two, but like I said, I think he comes back again. I mean, I'm probably repeating myself, but it's that in-depth scouting stuff where it's scouting everything about them, even personality. Like, are they going to come in and cause a fuss? What are they hard working in training? And a lot of like stuff that we shouldn't really think about as fans, but obviously if managers and scouts are working and
Mick's after disappearing. Klopp must have said it. I'm sure he'll be back now in a minute. But I just see a thing here. Who would you both like to see come in at the end of the transfer window? There's a lot of talk about Saul Niguez, the Atletico midfielder. I'd like to see him, but I can't see him. Mick is back. The green. What happened there, Mick?
Sorry, Dave. I was chatting away. Looked at the window. Just came back.
You hit the wrong button.
What was I saying?
I think FSG are monitoring the stream. You might have just about to say something, and you go.
I know, yeah. Right there. Is that Michael Edwards? I don't know. No, I was saying like, it's the scouting. Every player needs to be worth the weight in gold in terms of behind the scenes stuff, like working hard and whatever else, like making sure they do everything right and eat right. Are they a good fella? Are they gonna basically not a knobhead? That's basically what it is. No one wants to sign a knobhead who's going to come in and kind of, like I said, rock the boat, or
there's plenty of them out there.
Expect big wages, or come in and go right, like just maybe rub people up the wrong way and stuff like that. That's stuff that you don't want, and that's why maybe we're not seeing someone right now, because maybe they're still going through that process of finding a player and finding out all of the stuff. I honestly haven't. I am surprised though, but yeah, I haven't got a clue.
We just answered a question here from Daz TV. How are you, Daz? Hopefully you're well. Who would you both love to see us bring in the end of the window? Now, who would we love, or who do we think? Who would we love to bring? I would have liked that guy Daka. He went to Leicester. I think he's going to score goals. I know he scored in a friendly the other day, but I just think for the money, Mick, it wasn't huge money. All the potential. Obviously, we can't bring him in because he's gone to Leicester, but I would have liked Saul Niguez to come in, but I think his wages apparently are ridiculous at Atletico Madrid. It's like 300 grand a week. Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
So he'd actually have to take a wage cut to come to Liverpool, which I can't see either. You know, I mean, Basuma off Brighton, I like him. I wouldn't have minded him coming in. If you're asking me that question for the midfield. Up front is a bit more difficult. Klopp likes, I would have liked an out-and-out striker, but there's not many out there. There's none out there. You know what I mean?
It's Haaland. It's like you look at Haaland and Mbappe, and then it's like, well, we're not probably going to get them. So
Lewandowski for maybe a season or two. That would have been nice. He'd score goals for you, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just think I can't see Klopp compromising on this philosophy he's got, where he wants a player in the front three to play all three, like a Jota who can play all three positions up there. So I can't see him compromising on that. That's the only thing I might like. That's why, when I saw the Jarrod Bowen links, I was like, a bit underwhelming on the face of it.
But it's actually an FSG policy signing, isn't it? Written all over it, really.
Yeah, and then I had a little the usual look on YouTube.
Not bad. He's not a bad player.
He's good. Yeah, he's pacey. He's got some skills on him. He scored 8 goals last year and played every game, so he's always available. So it's one of them like that. Like Klopp and FSG both like to get someone right when they're at the sweet spot, where they know.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months or a year, this fella can just absolutely rock it and turn into a really good player. And I think we've seen that with Jota, haven't we? Like, we signed Jota and we were all like, Jota, not sure about this. He's a good player, but is he really going to be good enough to kind of challenge the front three?
I think so.
He came in and we were all going, let's play front four. So
now, but the only big difference with Jota is he's actually a Portuguese international. You know what I mean? He's an international level.
Yeah.
You know, he was playing for a good Wolves side. Now, he wasn't overwhelming at Wolves, but there was something there. This guy, Bowen, has come in at West Ham. I think he was at Hereford, and Hull City. Then he went to West Ham. He had a decent season with West Ham, a few goals. But I don't think it's the same level as Jota. I'm not saying he couldn't get there, but there's a difference, I think. He's not an international either, is he? He's English, but he's... No English caps, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's only because he's just joined at West Ham, hasn't he? Last year,
yeah.
So I think he's probably not had 1 year to show what he's done, to show what he's about, and he's played every game and scored 8 goals, which is, I suppose, not a bad return. I think he's similar age to Jota as well, so 24, 25 in December. So got time on his side. So I mean that like I said at first, that link was a bit like, this is a bit of a mad one, but I understand why he's in that shortlist, if this magical shortlist, if there is one, whatever the shortlist is hidden somewhere.
Here it is. I'm not showing you. Yeah. There it is. But do you know what it is as well? He can play anywhere across the front, and he can even play as a 10. And that's another reason why you would think in your mind, Klopp, because as you know, he loves Transformers. He used to watch the cartoon in the 80s where they can change into different players. You know what I mean? And that's what Klopp likes. So as we know. But I'm enjoying this chat now. We might finish the last 5 minutes on a bit of trivia and a bit of crack, I suppose. But we started off with the enigma of Naby Keita, Nabylad for short. We still haven't got the enigma worked out. I just think he needs a run of games, but he hasn't been able to get. I don't know his longest run of games, but it's not long, and I think that's the key.
Yeah, I'd love to have a look what his longest running consecutive games was, because
2.
Wouldn't surprise me.
2.
Yeah, I remember. I've obviously been doing Kopite podcast for since 2018, and I remember Naby coming in, and it was always like a vicious circle. Like, he'd do well, and then he'd gradually build himself up. Then he'd get injured, back up again, and it keeps giving you that little taster, and then just snatching it away. Like, I remember, was it last year where he had a few running games, and we played against Leicester, and he was absolutely amazing. Played 60 minutes, and then next minute he went down and he went off injured, and then back to square one again. That's the story of Naby Keita, unfortunately, and it's just that needs to change this year, because I mean, if we're running out of patience, I mean, Klopp's not going to be impatient with him, or he's not going to show that anyway to him, but he'll be frustrated, and I'm sure all the coaching staff will, that we keep building this player up who could be a well beater. Could have been a well beater the last couple of years if he would have stayed fit for us. Could have been one of our key players, but been too injury prone. But he's hoping, I imagine, that this year, I mean, if he's even more patient, maybe next year he can kind of. I don't know.
I think he only has 2 years though, hasn't he? 2 years in the contract.
Yeah.
So he'd really want to do it this year, I think.
Yeah, unless he's literally wants to start tailoring how many games he plays, but I don't know, because I mean, unless he does like a Sturridge and maybe just kind of. Yeah. After game day, or the day after game day, he doesn't let him train or whatever, just to kind of let his body recover. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but something needs to change, because he like the comment there, he is a star, but he needs to get on the field and show us that on a more constant basis for us to fully believe that get on the Naby train, the Naby hype train.
Do you know what I think as well? We were talking earlier about the FSG transfer policy. I think, as you know, I love all the 80s movies. I think they're fans of Back to the Future. I think they can actually go into the future, find out how good these players are, and then go back and sign them. Because, I mean, it's worked about 9 out of 10 times. They must know something we don't. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, even Virgil van Dijk at the time. I mean, I've seen some tweets the time he was playing for Southampton. I remember him at Celtic. Now, he looked good, proper, international centre-half. But he certainly didn't look to me that he was going to be anything like what he turned out to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, this is Back to the Future stuff. This is unbelievable.
They've got like a little advanced almanac in the Klopp study somewhere where he,
I think Klopp drives a DeLorean.
Yeah,
the wing door, the door's going up,
No, like I said, the scouting's obviously really good. They just know what they're doing. And Michael Edwards is just a little genius at getting these deals over the line. So let's hope that we can sort some more out this year, because like we said, Konate is going to be a good sign. I think we all know that. But yeah, getting those players fit, but needs to happen. Needs to happen this year, definitely.
No, absolutely. So the Naby Enigma has not been solved. So, it's been like the Rubik's Cube. It's like the Rubik's Cube, and someone hands it to me. I still don't know how to do it. 40 years later. But we'll finish this chat on a little chat about the Kopite podcast as well. You can let people know what the story is, about your shows and stuff as well, Mick. So you've done a Patrick Berg, yourself and Jay Pearson, of course. Everybody knows the Kopite podcast, top LFC content. What have you coming up? And also, you did a great Patrick Berger, a sort of a profile, historical type documentary, I suppose, was it? And you have another one, Fowler, coming up?
Yeah, well, I won't take any credit for this because it wasn't. It didn't have any.
Jay did it, was it?
It was all Jay. Like Jay showed me what he was up to, and I said, "Yeah, this is boss. Definitely run through with this." And yeah, did it, and the finished product was just amazing. So, and then even Paddy Berger said he loved it, which was just like cherry on the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
it's just like fucking amazing. So I think he's
what a player he was.
Oh yeah, that left foot was just special. One of my favourites growing up. He was sensational. But yeah, Jay's got another one coming up soon with Fowler, Kopite Origins #2. I've been doing a few lately. I've done one with Paul Smith, another show we do called Famous Fans, where we just
the boxer guy.
Try and grab a celebrity who supports the Reds and have a chat. So I think first one we done was Harvey from So Solid Crew. Then we done one with DJ Spoonie, Big Red as well. Then we got Paul Smith, the boxer, and then I've just last couple of weeks I sorted the #4 out, so that should be like the next couple of weeks. But yeah, just working on them, and just obviously waiting for the season to crack on, and we can start talking about actual footy again. So I can't wait for it.
I know, as you said, 12 days to Christmas. We've got Norwich away at Carrow Road, up and coming Norwich, of course. I can't wait for that. Everybody can't wait for that in the chat as well. We just finished the last few minutes, I suppose. Get your questions in on whatever you want for the next 5-10 minutes. Do you know what as well? The new Ghostbusters movie. I know Jay is a big Ghostbusters fan. He's not even here, but you probably are too. I'm a real original now, 80s boy, so I don't like remakes at all. But this one looks decent. I think it's called Afterlife or something, where the grandkids are involved. So it looks really good though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. To be honest, I did watch Ghostbusters the original, but I'm not a major fan. I don't know if I'm probably. Like,
I think #2 is nearly better than #1. The second one was nearly the better one.
Yeah, I think I was more into like I said, Back to the Future and stuff. I think that was more my type of thing. I mean, I did watch Ghostbusters, but I don't know if it just kind of passed me by at the time when I was a bit younger. So I don't know. I'll probably will watch the remake because I've seen the trailers and stuff, and it does look good. To be fair,
top of the range,
looks pretty good, doesn't it? So yeah, definitely get on that.
Jack Mac LFC is in. Jackie boy, hopefully you're well. And 1892 Reds podcast as well. Naby for me is one of the most gifted players we have in our squad. Just got muscles made of cheese strings. He needs to stay fit this season.
Exactly.
Oh, he does, absolutely.
He does indeed.
I suppose you could say the same about the likes of Ox and stuff. I mean, Ox's career has been blighted by injury as well. He's another one that could give us so much more if he stayed fit, couldn't he? Just something different coming off the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when he's been playing the pre-season games as a false nine, I think he's looked good because he looks sharp. I think him and Naby both look really sharp, and it's like that thing, like they're giving us a little taster, and it's like this is what it could be. It's like bullseye when they're like fucking speedboat at the end. This is what you could have had. It's like this is what you could have had. This player, he's taking people on and scoring worldies and doing flicks and tricks, and it's like, do that in the league when we need you. It's like, that's why it's so frustrating.
And Kloppy special prize, Naby Keita. He just comes around like that. He spins around. There's Naby. There's Naby's leaning on the yoke. I used to love that. That was an absolutely brilliant show. If anybody remembers it, I think it was late 70s, early 80s. Bullies on a Sunday afternoon. It used to be on. You won a speedboat. Your man lives in a flat or something, miles away from the sea,
lives in Holland like a
you won a speedboat. That's great. Or a caravan, and he hasn't got a car.
Get it on the back of a bike or something.
That was one of the best shows ever. Even going back further, the Generation Games, another one. I think it was one where all the stuff used to go on. Remember the one who used all the stuff to go on the conveyor belt?
Memorize it.
And you have to remember. Your man Cracker Jack did something similar for a kid's version. Do you remember him on a Friday? I could crush a grape.
I don't know if I remember that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I
could crush a grape.
That was cracking. I loved it.
Oh, my God. Speedboat. Look at that. A Volvo. I mean, some of the other things like, barbecues or the checkbook, the blankety blank, you got a checkbook and pen. Now, there was nothing in the checkbook. It was just a pen and a checkbook. Yeah, you didn't even win money. Do you remember that? Checkbook and pen. Yeah, it'd be different if they're giving you 10 grand or something,
Yeah, some of the one of them was like a clock or something, just like I thought it was family fortunes or something like that. It's like a clock. Are you joking? Give me the card or something.
God. Do you know what I used to love as well? Blockbusters. I think it used to be on a Friday. Bob Holmes, I think it was.
Yeah.
Be Please Bob or whatever. Oh,
that was one of my favourites. Yeah,
that was absolute. Jeez, I'll tell you what, we were easily amused as kids, I tell you. Some of the stuff the kids have nowadays, we were easily bleeding amused.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Supermarket Sweep. What's classic. That? Don't remember that.
That's Dale Winton, where they're in like a supermarket.
Oh, the one where they come in and they certainly put them on.
Yeah,
I know the one you're
like
talking
the big
about.
Inflatable bananas and whatever else, like 50 quid or something. Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about. Do you know what that reminds me of? That famous 80s film, was it Trading Places?
Oh, yeah.
The one where Richard Pryor, is it? Am I right saying that? Richard Pryor? And Dan Aykroyd.
I think so, yeah. Was it?
Well, Dan Aykroyd, anyway. Yeah. And the one where he's millions and he's a certain amount of money he can spend. It's 30 million or 300. He's to spend 30 million in a day or something. And if he gets it, if he does it properly with all the receipts and all, he gets 300 million. That is an absolute wow. Watch it, Dave. They're asking me to watch it. Supermarket Sweep. Bullseye.
That's us in the window.
Look at what you could have won. Look at what you could have won. Exactly. I've actually seen it. I've seen it as a transfer thing. Did you see it on Twitter? And it goes, look at what you could have got. Had a Naby and Haaland and all this. And some other fella. It's fucking brilliant.
Well, if Naby Keita turns up this season, then we'll just I'll have to get Jay to make us a little special video of like Naby Keita just like doing this. Like, this is what you could have won. Naby Keita.
Won. And Naby special prize 10 games in a row. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Right, guys, get a few questions in, whatever you want. We're just going to mix it up for the last. What are we, 41? We leave for 45. We call it a night. I know Jay wants to slip off into the night like Batman there, but it's not a game show. But watching the Olympics, yeah. Do you know what was great on the Olympics? I don't know whether you've seen it or not. It was yesterday. The high jump, the Italian guy and the guy from Qatar.
I've seen it, yeah.
It was a split decision. Yeah. And your man comes over to them and goes, well, you can either do a re-jump for the gold. And your man goes, can we both have a gold? Probably just said it out. And your man goes, yeah, you can. Your man went.
He goes mad, doesn't he? Yeah,
the Italian fella went crazy.
Yeah.
First time since 1912 he had split gold.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
and
unbelievable.
Then the same guy was, I think the fella who won the 100 meters was Italian as well. And then that long jump.
Lamont.
The high jump guy was like waiting for him as he came over the finish line and just jumped on his back. I was like, fucking hell, he's keen in. But yeah, it was a good moment, wasn't it? Definitely.
Predictions for 2035. Liverpool will beat Man City in the Martian Cup final by 17 goals to 6 and with a great atmosphere.
35. I can't even fathom that.
Bob from 2082. I used to do a mysterious time traveler called Bob from the year 2082. Used to try predict results, you know.
My prediction for 2035 is James Milner will still be in at centre mid. Definitely.
Yeah. New Liverpool manager. 2035. Nilly vanilly. If Liverpool don't sign a striker, do we then worry about the goals drying up again? I suppose so. I mean, we do need something. That goals win you games, don't they? I mean, it looks like we're going to be tight enough in the back with all our centre halves fit. So it's a matter of, can you score enough goals? You know, if you let in one, you need two to win. So that's the big key, isn't it? I mean, Salah's going to score. Salah's going to do it every season. He's 20 plus. I think Mane will step up this season, though. He looked tired last season. I think you're going to get a big season for Mane. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mane's had 5 weeks, hasn't he? And Salah's had 7. So Salah is always great, isn't he? But Mane wasn't that bad last year. I just think he's got his levels are up here. So if you drop down there for one season, it's really noticeable. So 5 weeks off, looking refreshed. I think he'll be really
ready to rock.
Yeah, really ready to smash it and score some goals and whatever. But I think Salah's going to be going for his first season. Like, I think he got 44. I think he's going to have his eyes on the prize, trying to beat that 44, to be honest, because I think he's literally, he always wants to beat his own records, doesn't he? I think last year he got 31, which was his second highest in his 4 years. So he'll be aiming for 30 plus definitely next year. And I think we know he can do it because he is that good. He's
the numbers, the assists, the goals per game ratio is just intergalactic. I mean, it's literally out of this world stuff, isn't it? When you look at it, and people keep giving out about, okay, he misses chances, but he's always bleeding there. You only know when Salah's not there, and if he leaves, whenever he leaves, then you'll be giving out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's mad because he's one of the very few players that people judge in that way. Like they say, he scores loads, but he misses loads.
Yeah, why?
So does Ronaldo. What? Ronaldo misses loads. Like, see how many free kicks Ronaldo takes before he scores one. I think it's been like 100 free kicks since he scored his last or something. Like he's prolific, but so is Salah, and these players are. It's just a mentality thing. They want to score as many as they can, but they're bound to miss some. I understand Salah's missed maybe a few sitters over the past couple of years, but he always delivers when we need him to. In the big games, he always turns up, and himself is basically having two players, I believe, because he is that good. Like, two people need to mark him all the time. He's that quick, he's that strong. He's basically our striker in a way because he's a right forward, but he always goes inside. So that's why Bobby drops in, so Sadio and Mo can run outside him and bag the goals. So I'm hoping both of them can do it this season, because if they're both on it this year, like I said, with the defence being sorted as well, we won't be as leaky at the back. So we might only need 1 or 2 goals to win a game because we'll be really solid. So if they're both on song and then bang one in each game, then happy days.
But as you just said there, I mean, if Salah, you're more or less expecting Salah, once he stays fit. Imagine Salah got injured last season. I mean, you'd even take 10 games he wasn't in. We're not getting top 4. It's not going to happen. So there you go. I mean, Jack has a question here. Who one of the signings this summer has impressed you and has gone under the radar this window? But and his answer actually is down here. The guy they signed from Norwich to Aston Villa signed Buendia. He looks a proper player, doesn't he?
He looks like a good one, yeah. He's like one of them, like number 10s, isn't he? Like, he's low centre of gravity. He looks like he's got an eye for a pass and whatever else. Yeah, he looks like he's one of them that he'll probably stay at them for a year or 2, then he'll get picked off by.
Get higher again, go up again.
I think so, and I think Villa have also close to signing Leon Bailey, aren't they, as well? Which would be another. Yeah.
They're spending the Grealish money.
They're spending it before they've even got it. But
I've heard they're interested in your man Todd Cantwell as well from Norwich. I mean, Norwich want to be careful who they keep selling their best players, and they're coming up. You know, it'd be tough. To replace. Tough to replace.
Yeah, Cantwell's good as well. So if they lose him, that's another I understand what they're doing with that one though, because Cantwell's a good ball carrier as well. So that I suppose they're trying to.
I think Liverpool were looking at him. I mean, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
Player, you know.
I think it's like I said, it's those players that you think they're good players. They just need the right environment. Like we've been saying about Liverpool players that we sign and we always get it right. It's that type of player where you go, these players are good, but then if you sign them and then you look back in 2 years, you'd be like, why was I worried about signing this player? Because look what they've turned into. Like Robbo and Fabinho, the players that we've signed, where you kind of like, I've seen him play, but is he going to cut it? And invariably, Liverpool are right with those type of signings. So I am looking forward to see who we select as the 1 or the 2 that we get in to try and shore this squad up a little bit more, because I think we all agree, don't we, collectively as a fan base, and that we definitely need one minimum at least. I mean, if we get 2 more in, then great, but definitely need 1 more in there who can affect the squad, the squad and the first team a bit more.
We're going to leave it there. Mick, you can enjoy your night. I really enjoyed that. That was absolutely brilliant. We're going to do a load more. I'm going to come on your channel as well with you.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do loads more because, as we know, 12 days to Christmas, guys. Norwich away, Premier League. It's like Christmas, basically, isn't it? And there's fans back. Which is even a bigger bloody Christmas party. So I cannot wait. Thank you very much, Mick. Hope, as I say, I'll talk to you soon. I think thanks all the comments, guys. Absolutely brilliant as usual. You guys make the show. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Go over to the Kopite podcast, check them out as well. Top notch. I think I'll leave it here with this little comment. Anyone heard these rumours? Raiola offered Pogba to Liverpool. Well, you know what I'm going to say about that one. Stay safe. This means more.